Alright, we're back. I think this is video number 7. If not, I'll correct myself on the screen. I went ahead and tooled the ball, and I tooled the brim of the hat. One of the things you're going to find out is that you're going to have a lot of fuzzies as you work. Great little tool you can find. I think this was a plumber's tool. I don't know where I found it at Ace Hardware, whatever. But it's stiff enough to where you can get in here and you can clean some of those fuzzies off, because some of them are just way down in there and you're going to have to dig them out. But others are surface, and you can get right in here and you can clean off just by scratching it with that. It doesn't leave any marks on your wood, but it certainly clears up some of those little fuzzies. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to tool this beard, and then if we have time, we'll do the back beard and a mustache. One of the things I learned early on in my career was that when you're adding details, it's best to add details in stages. And for me, it's kind of like painting. I did a lot of painting and still do a little bit of painting, but it's like painting. If you start with the big tools and use it as long as you can, you're better off than if you're piddling around with a little tool the whole time. So what I want to do is I want to take a big tool like this gouge I've got from Denny OCC. I can't remember how long I've had it, but I just want to add some of the gross movement of hair. I don't need a lot, but I just want to add some indentations, and that doesn't look like I've got a whole lot in there. So what I want to do is just add a few random strokes. They don't all have to be going the same way. You can add a few and then come back and add a few more. So watch here. I'm just going to add one that way, another one. And then what I'll do is I'll come back, and these all don't run, they shouldn't run the same way. Try to make them a little more interesting, like I showed you earlier with the Harold Enlow study stick. It helps if you don't have them going all the same way. And then what you do is you come back with a smaller one and you add a few more, and then you come back with an even smaller one and add a few more, and then if you want to, you come back with a gouge or a V-tool. Some people do this for beards with a U-gouge. Other people use a V-tool. And I use a combination of both. What I'll do is I'll add a lot of the gross, large folds of hair, and then I'll come back and I'll intersect that with a few small ones and make that add a little more detail, add a little more character to it, because you don't want to have all the beard flowing one way like Santa Claus just got out of the salon. That's not a lot of fun to think, Santa just got a perm on his beard. And so what you want to do as you do this is try to make some of them go to the left, some of them go to the right, some of them go straight up, some of them curl. And that's going to add that little detail that people really love. If you sell carvings, people look at the details. If you don't sell carvings, people may not look at the detail, but that's certainly something that they try to pick out. I went for the big one. Let's switch a little bit. We'll get the smaller one. And again, I'm just going to have some of these hairs turning in on themselves. You'll have to have a knife to cut off some of these curly cues that don't want to come out. You get the idea of we're taking the big cut, and then right next to it we do a little cut. And so it would curve and turn and all kinds of different waves to it, because you don't want the beard to all be flowing just one way. So as you get down here, you want to curve back. So I'm following this line, and then I'm curving, where's that line at? And then I'm curving back. And so that line follows this. Here it goes this way, and it comes out here, and it comes back around. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for some kind of interest to that carving rather than just straight up and straight down. And you can sit here and piddle, play, putter. What I do is I do those. I'll come in here with a V-tool, a mid-range V-tool, and just add some hair. And this is where I'm adding some of the little details that I want, especially right up here at the edge. I'll show you a little bit later how to do that. But we're just going to add some movement as we do these beard hairs. And so you can certainly add, and you can sit here and play, and this thing could just be hours and hours of fun for you. Let me go on the other side and I'll show you how we do that with just the V tool. Because if you're using just the V tool, start with the big one, add some details. Don't all have to be going the same way. Switch it around because we'll have a better cut that way. Add a few, make them turn, make them cross over each other, and then come back in. You see some of that, and then come back in with another V tool, a smaller one, and pick it out. In other words, don't have long hairs, have short, intersecting, connecting lines so that you can make it look like it's got a little bit of interest to it. And I'll let you, I don't think you want to sit here and watch me piddle around with this. It'll take me 5 or 10, maybe 12 minutes to do all these. I don't think you want that. But let me show you what I do to make the details. Right up here, you do not want that straight line. You don't want a straight line right there with hair. So you take a V tool, and what you do is you come in at an angle. And when you get out there, back it off. Come out here, back off. What you're doing is breaking up that straight line right there. Because men's hair doesn't have all those straight lines. So it looks like the hair starts out here, and you can do that all the way around these straight edges because it just adds a little more feature to that. Okay, so what I want you to do, I'm going to give you a little bit of homework. I want you to tool the mustache, tool the hair on the beard, and tool the brim and tool the ball. Let me show you what I do with the mustache. The mustache, what you want is you want it to follow the smile that we have. So it kind of goes up like that. And what I'll do is I don't take the great big one, but I will take a smaller one. And so I'll take a smaller gouge and just come in here. Be careful with slamming into that nose, because if you do it too much, what you'll end up doing is you'll end up having a lot of cleanup to do to that nose, and you may break off part of that wing of the nose. But just add some detail to the mustache. When you're done with that, come back in with a small gouge, small V tool, sorry, and just add a few more pieces of interest. You're just trying to make this look like Santa Claus, and he's looking like he's got a mustache, and he's laughing, and he's smiling. What you don't want is a grumpy Santa. If you get a grumpy Santa, you know, you'll have a hard time getting rid of it. Ain't nobody wants that. Everybody knows Santa to be ho, 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 and jolly. And so you'll do this for your beard or mustache. What I like to do is take the edge of it off down here. So down at the bottom of the mustache, I don't like it real sharp like this, so I'll take the edge off. And it gives it a little bit more of a curl, and it gives it a little bit more of not looking like he's really not having a good time. And then if you really want to, you can add a few more little details down there, like his mustache at the end of it isn't really straight, but you don't have to do that. That's another detail that's not necessarily something you have to do, but if you want to do, you can add that on. And if you want littler, smaller type of cuts, come back in here with a real tiny one and just kind of poke around at it. Just add a few little details to that. Again, don't go overboard on this, because nobody's looking at the beard saying, oh, it's got one too many hairs or one too few. It's just one of those things that people are going to look at and they'll get a kick out of it. So I give you some homework between now and when we go to paint. I want you to tool the mustache, tool the beard all the way up through here. If you haven't tooled the ball, Tool the ball. If you haven't tooled the brim, do that. On the back, let me show you what I do on there. I don't like it flat right here. What I like to do is take a spoon gouge. If you know what a spoon gouge is, basically it's a fishtail gouge with the wings cut off. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come in here and I'm just going to cut out the back of this Santa Claus ornament. You can go as deep as you want. I know some people make theirs so deep that they get pass-throughs in the beard, so it looks like the beard has negative space because it's gone all the way through the wood. But I like this because it just adds another feature of detail to it. Plus, it also lets me know that it also lets my customers know that this is real wood. I get a lot of customers that see a lot of shoppers that'll say, "Oh, I could buy that at Walmart for 20 bucks." And you go, well, not this, because this isn't plastic, it's not resin, it's real wood. And if they don't believe you, you take the back and you can make a mark on it if you really want to. Say, see, that's wood, that's not, and that doesn't detract from the front of your carving. So I like to do it this way simply because it's just another feature, another added detail. I don't necessarily care for the flat ornaments, just a personal preference. But that's what I want you to do. My next video on this will be painting this thing, and it won't take much because we only got a few colors. But that's your homework between now and the next video. This is number 7, I think we're on. Video number 8 will be one where we paint it, finish it, and put the little eye hook in it. But anyway, I'm giving you homework. For those of you that want homework, tool the hair, tool the beard, tool the mustache, tool the eyebrows, tool the hat ball of the hat, and tool the brim of the hat. And then we'll make this thing. In the meantime, I'll finish mine, and we'll paint when we're done. So I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for following along. Nice to have you with me.